From Tuesday's special election, a change of leadership is coming to UW-Milwaukee. It's another busy week in the world of Wisconsin politics. In this morning's Capital Connection, CBS 58's Emilee Fannon and WisPolitics editor J.R. Ross break down the top stories.
Voters in the northern third of Milwaukee County will now have new representation in the 4th Senate District after Dora Drake won a special election on Tuesday against her opponent, Lakeisha Myers. And she had quite a commanding lead over Myers in this special election, which, of course, was during a holiday week, so there wasn't a lot of big turnout. But it's fair to say, you know, this is not going to be the only time these two candidates square off, because they will both be on the ballot in August.
Yeah, so two different races for two different terms. So first, Drake beat Myers about 2-1 in this primary for the 4th Senate District. Now, she'll be on the ballot July 30th to actually win the special election, but she'll be unopposed. There's almost no path where she's not going to be the senator for the 4th District the next 5 months. The thing, though, is we'll be back on the ballot in August. That's for a full 4-year term starting in January. The differences are a number of things. One, we had about 8,000 votes in the election on Tuesday. There were about 18,000 in 2016 when then State Senator Lena Taylor was challenged by then State Representative Mandela Barnes, the primary, so much different electorate. But Drake sent a message of strength with his victory, people have told me. One, she outraised Myers 6-1 ahead of the primary. She had a more robust mail program, more robust campaign, and she's got donors that include the business community, unions that traditionally back Democrats, and school choice advocates. So the question becomes, who is going to play in the August primary? Now, Myers told me, and I talked to her, that she was strategic about this and thought, I'm going to just focus on the August primary. But what message do you send when you come that far behind Drake in the primary? If you're a group, if you're a school choice group, voucher group, if you are business community, if you are unions, will you spend money in August? Because even though Drake won by a big margin, different electorate and also low profile, low attention race, you never know. But people I talk to feel like Drake's in a very strong position coming out of the primary for this primary, for the next primary.
All right, let's move on to our next topic, which is more kind of troubling news for Milwaukee Public Schools, which was expected after there is new estimates from state officials that show what they'll be at for the upcoming school year. So these new figures by the Wisconsin Department of Public Instruction show that MPS will lose about $43 million to make up for previous overpayments that the state gave them due to them mismanaging their finances. And we know that DPI also cautioned that these figures are not going to be final, but this gap can be considerably larger in the months ahead.
So DPI every year does a run July 1st to give estimates. This is what we think you're going to get. October 15th, they have the final numbers, which they see enrollment figures and other things like that. Milwaukee's obviously going to be a big loser because of the overpayments in the past, but also losing money because they have changes in enrollment. You know, things like that are affecting their payment. They're also big winners. Madison, for example, MMSD is getting $35 million more this year over the previous year. So it's basically showing you this is the biggest pot of money for schools, for the aid they get from the state. It's also categorical aids, special aid, so that's separate. But this big pot, when you take the MPS money that they were overpaid and pull it back, I think it's redistributed, and there are other winners in the system because of that.
All right, and our last story, we want to talk about more Milwaukee news with University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee losing their chancellor because he announced, Mark Money, that he is going to step down next July in 2025. And this comes after he didn't get a lot of positive headlines after how he handled the campus protests when students had those encampments, which were illegal, but they stayed there for quite some time on campus in their protests against the war in Gaza.
The question is always, was there a nudge that kind of helped get this decision rolling? Look, there were donors who were unhappy with how Money handled the protest. There are members of the Jewish community quite unhappy. So you could see the writing on the wall that he had a challenge ahead of him to win back support of not just them, but also the Board of Regents, University administration. They had kind of expressed quietly some concerns about his leadership. And from what I had kind of heard, there was maybe a hint dropped to him that we're not happy with things got to change.
All right, that will do it for this week. Thanks so much for joining us.